اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أعوذ بالله من شر النساء ومن شر الشياطين وسلطان الله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious and eternal Father, guide our steps as we go forth this day. Breathe on us your breath. Fill us with new life until this earthly part of us glows with your divine fire. Through Christ our Lord, we pray with praise and thanksgiving. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you once again that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Jonga.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you had your breakfast.
Yes, thank you.
Council, can we proceed, please?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Now, Mr. Jonga, I believe we were discussing the second quarter of the system audit, the internal audit report for 2022.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Now, let me refer you to page 15.
I will please like to submit 2 documents.
Yes, that's fine.
Before we proceed.
All right. The first one is the declaration of intent with respect to the expulsion of Mr. Shirifo Sonko from the UDP, the United Democratic Party, correct?
Yes, precisely it is the declaration that was signed by the councillors,
yes,
to abstain themselves from general council activity.
All right.
For that period.
Very well. We apply to tender a declaration of intent signed by 16 councillors dated the 16th of July 2020 with respect to abstaining from council sittings in relation to the expulsion of Mr. Shirifo Sonko. Would that be a fair explanation?
Yes, during this particular period from July 2020 to March 2021, there has not been any sitting due to the position.
From July 2020 to March 2021?
Yes, sir.
We appear to have the document admitted into evidence as an exhibit. It's a photocopy, but you don't have the original, do you?
No, it's addressed to the clerk of council.
All right.
It's only copied to the CEO, the governor, and the minister.
Right. Thank you very much.
And the media.
We also apply to tender a memo with the subject matter revenue measures for the year 2021 from the Office of the Chief Executive Officer to the Director of Finance. The date is 18th of January 2021. It is signed by the CEO then, Mr. Jonga, correct?
Yes, sir.
An address to the chairman. The chairman is copied. The chairperson, Finance Committee, Finance Manager 1, Finance Manager 2, Acting Rates and Tax Manager, Value Property Manager, License Manager, Principal Internal Auditor, Debt Manager, Market Manager, all into evidence as an exhibit.
A letter dated the 13th of July 2020, addressed to the clerk of the council, Brikama Area Council, with the caption Declaration of Intent. The letter is copied to the media, Governor West Coast Region, Ministry of Local Government, Lands and Integration. Is further copied to the CEO of Brikama Area Council. And attached to the letter is the names of councillors that appended their signatures, and also indicative on the said document is the ward that they represent. A letter dated the 18th of January 2021 with reference BAC/044/A/B, actually which is a memo. This is from the Chief Executive Officer to the Director of Finance, and the subject matter is revenue measures for the year 2021. Both letters are admitted as exhibit in evidence and marked as LGC/MJ in bracket C/BKAC/003.
As the commission places. Any other document for now?
For now, no.
Yeah. Now, please let me refer you to page 15 of the internal audit 2022 second quarter.
Okay, sir.
No, I believe it's 16. with respect to private fuel allocation to non-council's vehicles.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
It says, we know that some private vehicles were fueled from council revenue. Number one is BJL 5669R, 10 liters, $514 is diesel, to one Buba, an order. BGL 1921F, 40 liters, to one Abdullah Pane. MC BGL 2329, 10 liters, 540 petrol, Lyman Cham. Total $3,110 is increase in fuel spending. Now, why would you allocate fuel to non-council vehicles?
There are some instances where you will allocate fuel to non-council vehicles to carry out council activities. One such activity is, example, I vividly remember for Buba Ba.
Yes.
This was an amount of 10 liters. It happens that he is a supplier with council, and we did procure some tires that we needed to transport from Joshua to the office. It happens all the vehicles were out on collections, and then Buba happens to be around that end. And we asked if he could help to transport the tires for us.
How were the tires procured?
Yes, the tires were procured, yes.
How were they procured?
No, from a different supplier.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying, how was the procurement done? Because the procurement will have taken care of all these processes. Is that not the case?
No, the procurement will not include the transportation of the tires.
Why?
From the supplier. Well, actually, that has not been the
practice.
The practice where you buy from a supplier and then he bears the cost. In some instances, it could be, the cost of transportation could be embedded in the cost for the particular material. But most often, to the best of my knowledge, when we procure, example, tires or goods, let's say out of the jurisdiction of West Coast, the cost of transportation is bought by council.
Generally, who has the responsibility to deliver when it comes to having contracts with the procurement organization, having contracts with any supplier for the delivery of goods?
Yeah, these are not based on framework contracts.
They are?
These cases were not based on framework contracts that we have with suppliers.
Why?
Honestly, we do not have such framework contracts at this point in time in 2022.
So why, on what basis was the procurement done?
The user department will put up a request for tires.
Yes.
In this case, the chief driver.
Yes.
And then the process will be done and payments will be effected. But first, before you could take delivery of the goods, then the supplier will need to confirm receipts or availability of the funds and issues the receipt. So it happens Mr. Ba was around that end at that point in time. So I make that decision personally because I could remember that the vehicles are all out for collections. So before retrieving a vehicle from the collections, why not we give him 10 liters for him to bring over the tires to the council.
So if you made a decision personally, it means you did not follow the procurement regulation?
Yeah, at that point in time, about the fuel or about the purchase of the tires?
Both, because the fuel is as a result of you purchasing tires. So it's one and the same.
Yes.
So if you want to justify the fuel, for example, it is because you are saying you have there's a circumstance that warrants you to just fuel a non-council staff or vehicle.
Yes.
So did you follow the procurement regulation or the act in relation to the procurement of the tires?
Yes, we followed. The procurement of the tires is completely different from the procedures dealing with the fuel.
No, it's the same.
Yes.
It's the same because if it is embedded in a contract in relation to the purchase of tires and you follow the regulation and it allows you to fuel power performance, to fuel these vehicles for the onward transportation of the tires, then it means your actions were probably lawful.
No,
but you did not follow the regulation.
No, I do not think you understand my point.
Please come again.
Yes, the tires were procured from a different supplier.
Okay.
With the right procedures taken.
Yes.
And now with this particular supplier, there is no such framework agreement that we have that will indicate if the cost of delivering the goods to the council is a responsibility of the supplier or that of council.
Yes.
Like I said earlier on, in most instances, the goods that we procure outside of the LGA will bear the cost
Yes.
of transportation.
Yes.
And now, Buba is different from the supplier.
Yes.
He happens to be at the end, around the supplier.
I understand.
Yeah, and then that's why we said, okay, you can help to bring the tires.
That's my problem. There's something like helping in running an institution like local government area council. That doesn't exist. That's why I said, if you had followed procedure, for example, in relation to the procurement of the tires, it should have catered for who is in charge of delivering the goods. So if at all you would be in charge, then I am saying your actions would be lawful. If at all the supplier would be in charge, your actions would have been unlawful. Now, fueling a private vehicle is contracting a private vehicle or a private transporter. It doesn't matter whether it's in cash or in fuel. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So on what basis was Buaba paid to transport the vehicle?
Yes, I was only looking at the cost benefits of having to withdraw a pickup from collections and fueling that pickup to go all the way to...
Makes sense. But do you agree it was an unlawful allocation?
Yeah, what I agree is the fact that the delivery aspect should have been spelled out clearly.
So was it an unlawful allocation, the fuel?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have again the other one, Abdullah Pane and Lamin Cham.
Yes, these two, majority of the fuel consumption of councils are provided to non-council vehicles to carry out council functions.
Yes.
In this instance, these are fuel that are provided to community works.
Yeah.
Now, council do not have enough vehicles to be able to carry out community works, for example, road rehabilitations and so on.
Right.
So once we receive requests from the communities for community works or road rehabilitation,
yes,
most especially,
yes,
the request will come to my office, and then I will assign the Director of Planning and Development to conduct an assessment of the request with regards to the number of liters of fuel that is requested by each of the communities.
Yes.
And now, based on the recommendations of the department, then I will approve and allocate fuel for that community activity.
Yeah.
Now, when the vehicles goes to the petrol stations, the record will be the number of the vehicle that takes the fuel.
Yes.
So therefore, you will see the thinking will be these are fuel being supplied to private non-council vehicles.
Yes.
But the actual end product is for council activities.
Okay.
And this we have clearly explained our position.
So you are saying it was done in good faith?
Yes.
But it did not follow procedure?
I would not say procedure was not followed because
which procedure did you follow?
The request came in.
Yes.
There was assessment.
Right.
To determine the purpose of the request.
Right.
And then if the amount of liters that is requested,
right,
is justifiable,
right,
by the scope of work that is to be implemented.
Yes.
So we have established that.
True.
Now the other point is the issue of the vehicles, because we do not have the vehicles to be able to do these community works, to engage into road rehabilitation and transportation of gravels from the quarries. So what we do is that the community will provide vehicles, and then we will supply the fuel.
Yes. I get that. Yes. I'm just saying, what you have explained, it appears as if you have followed, you have probably, your argument is, it is with good intentions. You are looking at the services that are to be provided, and it is for the benefit of council.
Yes.
Is that what you were trying to argue?
Yes, sir.
And that's why I asked, let's assume that is the case, but did you follow the procedure? That's the question.
For allocating the fuel?
Yes.
I would say yes, until you prove me otherwise.
I don't have to see, Mr. Jonga, this is the case. It does not have to be when you know you did not follow procedure and I show you that you did not follow procedure, then you now accept.
No, I said
we just wait a minute. You and I know that you are very seasoned in local governance, and so for every expenditure. It says, for instance, if you look at the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004, please turn to page 13.
Few seconds, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
It says appropriation of funds. No appropriation of funds by council shall be made out of the funds of council unless it is approved in the budget. Do you see that?
Yes.
So, was this provided for in the budget?
Fuel allocations is provided for in the budget.
Yeah, but not for private vehicles.
No, but the fuel cannot go into any official council vehicle because we don't have the right vehicles.
You don't have the?
We don't have the right vehicles
But
to do this
that's-
rehabilitation.
but that's council's problem.
Yeah, so what will happen now? What will happen if the fuel is not provided to non-council vehicles for this service?
I don't know. I ask you the question.
Yeah, ultimately it means the communities will be deprived of the
Now-
service that they have requested.
It means you did not do your job as well as CEO or as management. Is it as simple as that?
Anyway, I did not say it that way because we are constrained with vehicles. We don't have the vehicles.
You
The
were
rest of the procedures were followed. There is a budgetary provisions for the allocation of fuel.
You were employed to make sure you get those things right.
I am.
You were employed to make sure you get those things right. So now, procurement. When you fuel a private vehicle, you must place it somewhere in the procurement, the different types of procurement. Is that not the case?
Yes.
No, where do you place that?
No, I see it as a community activity.
It doesn't matter how you see it, Mr. Jonga. It doesn't matter how you see it. It matters whether you followed the procedure in spending every dollar of council. Now you've said you followed procedure. Where will you place that in the type of procurement that you've conducted to justify that procurement?
It is for a community work.
That's not procurement. That's not procurement method.
No. Look,
Do you know the different type of procurement?
Of course. You know,
Tell me.
If you're looking at
What are the different types of procurement method you know?
Yes, you have restricted, you have open tender, you know, and then you have RFQ, and then you have other procedures. But
No, Mr. Jonga, let's just say, what do you know exactly, the type of procurements that you know as CEO?
Yes, I know restricted method.
Yes,
I know open tender.
yes,
I know request for quotations.
yes,
Request for proposals.
right,
I know single sourcing.
right. Now, where do you place this particular procurement? Because it's a procurement.
Now, look, the procurement here is the fuel, it's not the vehicle.
Once
We don't procure the vehicle, we procure the fuel.
Where do you place the procurement of the fuel for private vehicles?
We did not procure the vehicle, we procured the fuel.
Where was the
for the fuel, I will say it was through a framework agreement.
Okay.
But there is no record that we procured the vehicle for this particular
So
community.
let us not divert the discussion.
No,
I'm sure you haven't had anyone say that you procured a vehicle.
Yes,
Have you?
No, but the moment you ask for the procurement method.
Hear me out.
Yes.
Did you procure fuel?
Yes.
Did you procure fuel for a non-council vehicle?
For a community.
No.
Yes.
Answer the question.
Yes.
Good.
For a community work.
No, just the intention of procurement does not matter. It is how it is done that what matters. And now you are sitting here because the two questions I have is, did you procure fuel?
Yes, we procure fuel through
Was
a
it
framework
for a
agreement.
private vehicle?
It is.
Answer the question. Was it for a private vehicle?
It is not, but it's for a community work.
Was it for a private vehicle?
It is not for a private vehicle, but it is for a community work.
So you agree it's not for a private vehicle?
I agree, but I don't agree the position.
Which type of procurement did you follow? Which method?
Which one? For the fuel?
Yes, for the fuel.
Framework. We have a framework contract agreement.
Can you provide the framework agreement that you used to procure this fuel?
We have it.
Can you provide it?
Yes, sir.
That's exactly. So list it down and make sure you provide the framework agreement for when you procured this fuel?
Thank you.
And then we will take it up from there.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
the framework agreement would tell us entirely about the procurement. Is that not the case?
Yeah, of the fuel.
Now, we turn to the next page.
Sorry,
Yes.
I believe that there has been a lot of semantics in terms of explaining what the issue is from you, Mr. Jonga. I just want clarity. You have said the fuel is budgeted for, right?
Yes, ma.
Now, if the fuel is budgeted for, of course, when you buy the fuel, you are procuring fuel,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's correct.
Now, the question is, you procured fuel
Yes,
to help do certain activity.
yes,
Now, your manuals
yes,
and your budget line
yes,
is very clear,
yes,
and your processes also are very clear.
yes,
Now, if there is a circumstance under which you cannot use your own vehicles
yes,
to do certain acts,
yes,
and you need to have the services
yes,
of private vehicles to do the act,
yes.
don't you think you should follow the process? So in this circumstance, was there any voucher that was raised to show that you are giving this fuel to these people that have been mentioned?
Yes, the reports from the Directorate of...
No, I am asking specific question.
yes.
I said vouchers.
Yes,
Were they raised with respect to these fuels that were given?
for community works, yes.
All right. So please also note you provide us with the vouchers.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Mr. Jonga, when you bring the framework agreement, then
Yes.
we will proceed with respect to this allocation. Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Please turn to page 18. Are you there?
Few seconds, please. Yes,
We have the payment vouchers without a receipt amounted to 1,058,056.69 pesos. You see that?
yes, sir.
It says, during our audit review on payment vouchers, we realized that some payments were done and no receipt was attached on the vouchers. That is not in line with the Public Finance Act and the GPA Act.
Yes.
What is your take on that?
That's correct. There are times when payments are made and receipts are not attached.
Yes, but if you have a total of $1,058,056.09, it's a problem.
Yes, it is. There are serious gaps, it is.
So why would you, did you remedy this situation?
Until and unless I checked with finance.
You want to go, you can't recall whether you have solved this problem or not?
Allow me a few seconds. Let me go through the list and see if...
The list is you have generator rental from Kara Auctioneering. The amount is $25,850, no receipt attached. Description on voucher, 2 types. You have payment of roofing mechanic store, $17,725, no receipt attached.
Yes, I've
Medical
seen,
support.
Yes.
You have a payment for medical support. Do you have a medical scheme? No.
No, this medical support is granted to the low-income earners, especially the health laborers. But there is no medical policy.
You don't have a medical scheme.
Medical scheme, no.
So, what procedure do you follow in approving these applications, if there are any?
These medical supports are not usually above $1,000 in most instances, because you could see here this is $205.
No, that is not the question. The amount, see,
Yeah.
is the $205, is that too small?
No, it is not. I'm just telling you the ceiling here. the fact that we don't have a policy, and that is why the expenditure in terms of medical support is not that high up.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You have to have a procedure for it. Is that not the case?
Yes, I agree.
You have the payment of repairing of Brikama Area Council 5.
Yes.
23,968.69 butut.
Yes.
No receipt attached.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes, I've gone through the list. Yes, but I am sure it has to do with the issue of not attaching the receipts on some of the vouchers or not making follow-ups to ensure that after payments receipts are
And why is
attached.
that a concern?
It is a serious concern because the receipts will give you confirmation that indeed the payment that you have effected
Yes.
have been receipted.
So it's fair enough to say, as we speak, we do not know whether these payments were in fact genuine.
I would not say they are not genuine. Example, you could see one of the payments, 718,225.
Yes, on.
Which is for a road construction from
Yes.
the Church Johnson to Methodist Academy.
Yes.
This was a payment to a contractor.
Yes.
I'm sure the receipts should be with account or should be with the Director of Finance.
So, did you respond to this finding?
So I'm going through another list again. I think the response. I think we have given accounts a timeline to provide
Evidence of payment.
evidence of this payment. So I will have to confirm how much of this.
You also need time to confirm these particular payments as well.
Yes, sir.
And you'll come up with evidence if there are any.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And please then write that down. Are you done?
Few seconds.
Sorry, let me just ask a question.
Yes.
Mr. Jonga, what I did find curious is the fact that the audit report is 2022.
Yes.
And if up to date, you are telling the commission that you need to find out whether the receipts were available, you understand? It's a cause for concern because this audit report is internal, not external, right?
Yes.
And these things ought to have been dealt with, perhaps because this is the second quarter, right?
Yes.
And was there any third quarter report, audit report for 2022?
No.
There was no audit report.
No.
And why was there no audit report in the final quarter, in the third quarter and the fourth quarter?
For 2022.
22.
I am honestly not in a better position to explain that.
But having realized that there have been some issues raised in the first quarter of 2022 and the second quarter of 2022, don't you think it should have been prudent on your side to request for the third quarter and the fourth quarter so that these issues that are raised here could have been resolved?
Yes, I agree. Of course, there are issues, very, how will I put it, very strong issues that required attention from the internal audit directorate, but those issues were not given the due consideration for reasons best known to the head of the unit, because there are issues that were flagged at different level. And
wait a second, Mr. Jonga. Yes, the internal auditor, as provided for in the law, is supposed to be independent. But overall management of the accounts of council are your ultimate responsibility. Is that not correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you have authority under the law to make requests and to make sure that those requests are complied with. And when they are not complied with, you know exactly what to do, because you also have limitation in your power to take certain action. But up to the point where you have exhausted your powers, you ought to have taken steps to address it. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Just to respond to the other issues that you said, these issues happened in 2022, and why am I not in position now to? Because I want to get the facts correct, because I could recall that we have a retreat in 2022 February to address holistically.
That is first quarter of 2022.
Yes, no.
That is in February. If you say February, it's first quarter of 2022.
No, what I mean, this particular retreat was.
Is it in February 2022?
Yes, it was conducted.
So is it correct that the February is in the first quarter of 2022?
Yes.
Yes, you can proceed to explain.
Yes, so that this retreat will give us an opportunity to have a holistic review of all the pending audit queries that are raised by both the external auditors and internal auditors.
No, Mr. Jonga, because in February 2022, when you had the retreat, the second quarter's report, that is the internal audit report, was not yet out.
Yes, just hear me out. What I'm trying to put across is that the issues that are highlighted in one audit report to another often repeat itself in subsequent audit reports. Yes.
Example, which one were you using as a benchmark? Which of the audit reports, is it external or internal? If it is internal, which of them were you using as a benchmark for the February meeting?
We were using both. We were using the 2019 external auditors report.
Yes.
We were using the internal audit system audit findings, because some of these findings.
When was the system audit done?
2020.
Okay.
Because some of these audit queries are interrelated. So if you do not solve one audit query in one moment, the likelihood is that you will have another audit query of a similar nature in your subsequent audit. So in order to avert that, then we had this discussion and put up plans, and then that's why I said I will need time to confirm and look at the report and see.
Did you have the report for that retreat?
Yes.
So please avail us the report.
Okay, thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
We have issues of procurement on page 21. But I had said issue of procurement, we will deal with it separately. Do you follow?
Yes, is that the...
On page 21, regarding authorities' signatures not complete on the vouchers.
Yes.
Just briefly, you will see that you have procurement rules flouted in relation to the procuring of goods. For instance, you have payment of fuel supply from Gambia Petroleum Company. The amount is $160,606.75 bucks. The date is start of June 2022. The remarks, procurement requisition and the purchase order form not signed by the Director of Finance. You see that?
Yes, sir.
You have Gambia Petroleum Company. They supplied fuel, $110,528.28 bucks. 10th June 2022. Procurement requisition and the purchase of order form not signed by Director of Finance. There's another one which you did not sign, I think. Well, you signed, but the Director of Finance did not sign. That is the Gambia Petroleum Company fuel procurement, $155,716.90 bucks, 22nd of June 2022. You did not sign that one. But just as a way of example, the total is $1,454,619.11 bucks in total. So all these, you did not follow the procurement regulations.
Yes, it do happen. You'll see some, like highlighted in the audit report. Some of the vouchers will be signed by the CEO, and it will not be signed by the Director of Finance.
Why?
Or in some instances, it will be signed by the Director of Finance, and it will not be signed by
the CEO.
By
Why?
By the CEO.
Why is that?
Although no there's no justification for this. There are instances where the director will not be in at a point where we need to effect payments to be able to receive supplies, for the day.
Yes.
And then the process will continue with the expectation that, when he reports to work or when I report to work, then we will sign the vouchers. So it will happen that you have other present issues as well, and maybe, we forgot to sign.
This is the
subsequently.
present issue. This is why you were employed. This is the present issue.
Yeah.
This is what the present issue is.
Yeah.
Signing of documents, making sure monies that are expended are they really follow procedure is what is really present.
No, I don't mean the present issue.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying you may have other present issues.
We might have an engagement. We might be out of the office at this.
I am saying you are primarily appointed or employed to make sure you put this as a present issue.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give you the justification.
But you have said in the beginning that there is no justification for it.
No, I'm just trying to give you the reasons why sometimes
The reasons.
it happens, yes.
But those reasons you agree that it's not a justification. In your words.
Yeah, it is not. It is not. Yeah, they
Go ahead.
They could have waited for our signatures.
No, you could have waited.
Yes, yes. I could have waited for the signatures, even though there will be delays with regards to the work. I agree.
Look, no matter what your excuse is, you, Mr. Jonga, you're the only one who knows the circumstances under which you were signing this, or you were authorizing payments without following due process, correct? It may be genuine to you or not.
It is.
But, yes, let me say it is genuine to you.
Yes.
But we do not operate, public institutions do not operate based on how you see things. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So it's not your show, it's not your world. You are employed to follow and do the right thing. And the right thing is you are supposed to follow procedure. And you fail to follow procedure, and so you cannot account for 1,444,619 bills because of the fact that you failed to follow procedure.
But sometimes, Council, there are circumstances. For example, I'm not in the office, and then fuel needs to be supplied.
Yes.
For the waste collection vehicles to go out and collect trash.
Right.
And evacuate waste.
Right.
From, let's say, illegal dump sites.
Right.
That pose health hazards to the public.
Yes. Smart way of answering, Mr. Jonga.
No,
Wait a minute.
It's not a smart way.
You have explained the circumstances that will probably...
I'm not done.
Proceed.
So if those dump site pose threats to public health hazards,
Yes.
I do not think it will be, I should be held responsible for these expenditures while I am not in the office at that material time, or even out of the jurisdiction, even it's going to be a day.
Yes.
So now it happens sometimes you could report back to the office, and then you have other issues on the table that are present, and then you forgot to sign off those fuel vouchers.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other excuse? Do you have any other circumstance that you want to explain that may warrant you to deflout the rules?
No, those are the only circumstances.
Good. Do you think that's a justification?
At that material time, yes. Now, no.
Now, no.
Yes.
Which matters? Now matters.
Yeah, in hindsight, I wouldn't have, after knowing that.
Now is when it matters, right?
Yes, but also...
Now that you've been fact-checked, it matters now. And you agree it's no longer a not a justification.
Yes.
So we should not run our public institutions because of the fact that we think a certain circumstance based on our individual judgment requires us to flout the rules. You now know that should not be a justification.
No, it was not an individual judgment.
I
do not take that judgment as Modou Jonga. I took that judgment as CEO in my official capacity.
Who was the CEO?
So my
Who was the CEO in 2022?
Myself. My concern is the
What
choice
is your name?
It's a choice of word when you say
wait
personal.
a minute, Mr. Jonga, wait a minute. Let's get it right. Who was the CEO in 2022?
I am.
Who was making the decision as CEO?
Myself.
Is it fair to say Modou Jonga as CEO?
Yes, but it's not fair to say personal.
Is it fair to say Modou Jonga as CEO?
Yes.
That's what I will be using. Modou Jonga as CEO. Would that be a fair description?
But you said personal, so that was not fair.
No, wait a minute. Can I say Modou Jonga as CEO?
Yes.
Good. So let's go by that. That's why you are sitting here.
Yes.
The office cannot be dragged with the furniture and everything to come and sit where you are. You were to make decisions.
Yes.
You, Modou Jonga, you know you cannot sit here. You will really be doing a very, I don't know, there will be a dishonest answer if you want to say that even though I occupy the office, myself, Modou Jonga, I occupy the office as CEO between this time to this time, you cannot hold me responsible, you should hold the office responsible. Who do we ask questions? The furniture?
No, I'm not saying you ask the furniture, but your
so
choice.
Answer the question, my friend.
No, your choice about personal. That's what I have issue with.
That's what the law says, personal.
No. I said my decision was not a personal decision, and that I want you to understand.
What do you mean it wasn't a personal decision?
If I take a decision in my official capacity, you don't call that a personal decision.
No. So if it is wrong, if the decision is wrong and it flouts the rules, who bears the responsibility?
The officials bears the responsibility.
Who is the official?
Not the person.
No, wait a minute. We do not have to do this. Wait a minute. If you, Modou Jonga, occupies an office, which you did between 2019 to 2020, and a decision is taken in your capacity as the CEO, who is answerable?
In my capacity as CEO, but not in my personal.
No. Who is answerable?
The CEO is answerable.
Who was the CEO?
Modou Jonga.
So Modou Jonga, are you answerable in your capacity as CEO?
Yes.
Good. That's what all I need.
No, you don't still understand me. But
Sorry,
I think
Mr. Jonga.
That's all I need.
Sorry, Mr. Jonga. Let me just step in here. You have told this commission that you hold fortnight SMT meetings, right?
Yes.
And you have a budget, right?
Yes.
And you have a plan of activity, right?
Yes.
And one of your core mandates is what you have just given as an example of if you are out and they needed to clear a dump site, etc.
Yes.
And you are not there, even if it is one day, it will have an impact.
Yes.
Now, my question is, was it an oversight for you not to have known that there are no vehicles? Because I don't think you just wake up and realize that there are no vehicles to do X, Y, and Z, right?
No vehicles forward.
No, you were giving an example when we talked about the fuel issue. So I'm giving you an example and a scenario. That is to say, it cannot be so sudden that you may not be able to do what is expected of you at the material time. Because what, I may be wrong, but what you are trying to put across is that you omitted to sign as the CEO in some of these transactions is because there were exigent situations that did not permit you to do so. Is that not what you said?
No, I did not talk about the issue of the unavailability of the vehicles. I'm talking about the issues of the fuel. Like you have vouchers that we will need to sign to get our fuel supplies.
No, if that is your evidence now, we will take it.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that you have already told us that you do SMT fortnightly, right?
Yes.
So that should allow you to understand what are your challenges and what you are looking for in the subsequent 2 weeks ahead of you. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct, but
wait.
It is correct.
Let me finish. And invariably, you would have been in a position to know what your target expenditures are supposed to be. Is that not correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And is there any provision that will allow you for the preparation of your vouchers to anticipate these actions?
Yes, that is correct.
Is there any possibility of that?
The possibility, no, but let me just explain this, please. What I wanted to say...
Why no?
Yeah, because, you know, the weekly fuel is supplied on weekly basis, Monday and Thursday.
Yes.
Now, supply have to happen before you effect payments.
Yes.
Yes. Now, if it happens that...
So, sorry, let me just come back to my question. So, for the Monday and Thursday supplies, when do the finance staff prepare the vouchers for your signature to allow for the vehicles to be fueled on Monday or Thursday? Do they do it prior or do they do it after?
After supply.
It's after supply that they will raise the vouchers?
Yes, because that's the time you will get the records of the vehicles that were supplied and the corresponding invoice.
Okay.
So now, if it happens the next day, I am not in, or maybe the Director of Finance is not in to complete the process. So you could have such circumstances. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Mr. Jonga, well, maybe I don't understand the workings of local government, but Council, you may proceed. We will come back to
Mr.
that.
Jonga, did I hear you say you raise vouchers after supply?
Yes.
Vouchers are raised after supply is made.
For the fuel, yes.
Why? What provision of the relevant laws are you relying on? Certainly that is contrary to the financial manual.
If you raise the vouchers, you need to know the quantity of fuel that you were supplied with.
Yes.
And you need to have the invoice
Yes.
as a proof of
Yes.
the amount of fuel that was supplied.
No, totally wrong. You are really putting everything upside down. Before payment is made, in the process of procurement, you must raise vouchers to justify payment. Do you understand that?
But how will you raise the voucher if you don't have an amount of the fuel that you should pay for?
How will you receive supply if you haven't raised vouchers to justify the purchase of fuel?
But you need invoices first.
Yes,
to begin the process.
And then you raise the necessary vouchers.
Yes.
And then you raise the necessary vouchers. Invoices are not evidence of delivery. Delivery is the delivery note.
I do not see the process upside down. I honestly don't.
You do not see it that way.
No, I don't see it that it is upside down. Getting fuel supplies, having.
We will come to the raising of vouchers. We will get there. There are so many vouchers we have to examine, which
Okay.
you will see how it is raised.
Okay.
But it's clear that if you have been doing it that way, that is not what the law says. There is a mode of payment and procurement. You understand? So, but then let's go back. Let me refer you to page 8 of the financial manual. Page 8, regarding your responsibilities and duties as CEO. Page 8. If you are there, please let me know.
Yes.
Yes. So please read from the section 202, Chief Executive Officer.
The Chief Executive Officer of Council shall be appointed by the Local Government Service Commission as prescribed in the Local Government Act 202, Section 42, subsection 2. As the Accounting Officer of Council, he or she shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of the councils and the safeguarding of the council's assets in accordance with Section.
What is the underlining sentence there?
Safeguarding of the council's assets.
No, he is personally responsible for.
He shall be responsible for.
He is personally responsible for.
Yes.
How do you understand that? It says, as the accounting officer of council, he or she shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations. You have a huge responsibility, not only the supervision, but the management. That is why you sign off on every darasi that is being disbursed.
I never lose sight of that
No.
responsibility.
Let me get you to what the issue is regarding how and why you as CEO or any person occupying the office of a CEO is personally responsible. That is what the law says. Not me, not my opinion. I wish you were not. It says, he shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of the councils and the safeguarding of council's assets in accordance with the relevant section. You see that? And it went on. He is personally responsible for the due performance of the financial duties of council, in addition to others, or other responsibilities.
Yes, correct. I know.
So you agree that the law says you are personally responsible?
Yes.
Good. Now I move on to the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004, You have explained that the circumstances which may warrant only the CEO to sign or the finance director to sign, and you have given examples. Now let's see what the law says about that. The Finance and Audit Act 2004. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Go to the appropriation of funds, page 13. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please read.
Few seconds, please. Page 13, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Can you please check exactly, because I am on page 13, but I don't see.
You
any
have appropriation of funds.
Which section, please?
Page 13, you will see page 13, section 13, appropriation of funds. Where you have the issue of the revised budget, financial autonomy of council.
That is page 10, not on page 13.
Okay, you have it on page 10
Yeah,
for the Local Government and Finance Audit Act
yes.
2004. You have it on page 10.
Yes, sir.
So you have appropriation of funds. You have seen that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have it on 13. So, but that's fine. Please read from that.
Section 13, subsection 1.
Yes.
No appropriation of funds by a council shall be made out of the funds of the council unless it is approved in a budget.
Okay. Move on.
Subsection 2, no monies shall be withdrawn from the general fund account or any other accounts of the council unless the council have approved the withdrawal.
Yes.
Subsection 3, the chief executive and the director of finance of the council shall be the signatories to all accounts of a council.
Yes.
And in the absence of any of them, the director of administration shall be an alternative signatory.
Yes.
Subsection 4.
No, let's stop there for now.
Yes.
Let's stop there for now.
Yes.
Now it says, no, 4 is important. Go to 4.
Except during national emergencies, no financial obligation shall be placed on a council by the central government without providing for funds for the discharge of that obligation.
Okay. Now back to 3. You had raised the issue of having a circumstance where you may not be around, or the director of finance may not be around. Right?
Yes.
And what does 3 say?
Good. To come to that, 3 is saying the director of administration is an alternative signatory.
Yes.
To the accounts of council.
Yes.
Now, previously we were dealing with the vouchers.
Yes.
That were not signed by either the CEO or the director of finance, because like I said, under the circumstances, either one of us would not be in the office at that material time.
Yes.
So we are not talking about authorization of payments. No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me learn.
Go ahead.
If you look at the procurement vouchers,
yes,
they're prepared in such a way that you will have the signature of the user department.
Yes.
You will have a column for the director of finance.
Yes.
You will have a column for the CEO.
Yes.
If it happens that even a day I will not be in the office, the director of administration signs the transactions.
Yes.
But with regards to the procurement vouchers, they will have to wait until when I come and then I append my signature, despite the fact that the payments could be signed by the
you have been making your job much harder. I was trying to make your job light. You're making your job much harder. If that is the case, then under no circumstance should you authorize payment.
No,
No, just wait a minute. If we are good to go by your analogy, then under no circumstance, because the law does not say if the CEO is absent, the voucher is still valid, it can go on. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Did the law say that?
No.
Where you are absent, no, wait a minute. You see, Mr. Jonga, you can't have it your way all the time. We go strictly by what obtains. If the law says you must sign the way the columns are, let me give you a sample of voucher 113-03301, where there was a payment of fuel supply to BAC vehicles as per attached, the amount of 42,000 plus. Now let me give you read out the columns and you tell me whether you have a discretion to authorize a voucher in the absence of one. signature. And name me the first column you have.
The date here is 2018. I keep repeating that I took over in November 2019.
I'm giving you that as an example of what you are trying to explain regarding those who are to authorize the vouchers, those who are to sign to have a voucher duly authorized. You were saying there are different columns, right?
It's a different voucher. I'm talking about the voucher that is prepared for the supply of fuel. You have the user department, you have the column for the director of finance and the CEO.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That voucher, do you have a column for the director of finance?
Yes.
Do you have a column for the CEO?
Yes.
And the account clerk that raised the voucher?
This one, yes.
So now, the one you're referring to, there's a column for the director of finance?
Yes.
There's a column for the CEO?
Yes, and the user department.
And the user department. Can the CEO sign an authorized payment without the director of finance?
Can the CEO sign?
Can the CEO sign an authorized payment, an effect payment without the director of finance signing?
No, the director of finance signs first.
Yes.
Yes.
So the subject matter we have is there are instances wherein it is not complete because one of you will sign and the other would not sign.
Yes.
Now, is it mandatory that both of you must sign, or is there a discretion that one signature is sufficient?
No, both must sign. But I give you the circumstances.
No, let's get the facts first.
Both must sign.
Good. If we have the facts, then we can hear you with your excuse or your explanation. So it's not a matter of choice. There's no discretion. Both must sign.
Yes.
So where one signs and the other one does not sign?
It's incomplete.
It's incomplete.
It's inadequate, yes.
It's inadequate, and that payment should not be effected.
Yes.
Good. That's an honest answer. And so if that payment went ahead and it has been effected, that would not be a lawful payment in accordance with the rules and regulations. That would not be. You alone cannot authorize payment.
I might not call it unlawful.
Can you, the CEO alone, authorize payment?
No, absolutely.
Where you authorize payment alone, is that payment lawful?
It's not correct.
Is it lawful? The law says it has to be to the director of finance and the CEO. Where you alone authorize payment, would that be a lawful authorization?
Do you have an instant where I...
You know why it's supposed to be easy? You are more than anybody else. You are highly educated. And what you owe is your academic honesty and your professional honesty. The law says you must do this. You have told the commission there is no discretion, that both of you must sign.
Yeah.
If you have said that in your own words, and only one person signed, and the other did not sign, that cannot be common sense. It cannot be lawful. But I want to hear it from you, to see whether we employ people of character in our system. Where you signed alone, an authorized payment, you in your capacity as a CEO, and the director of finance did not sign, is that transaction lawful? Answer the question.
It is not a matter of being
lawful. Is it lawful or not lawful?
It is not lawful, and I have to explain.
Yes, now you can explain.
Yes.
I have gotten your answer. Yeah. Now you can explain. You can now, this is what we do. Now you convince the commissioners as to why that was the case.
Yes.
But now, answer the question first, and then you do. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Now you can explain.
Now, just to refer you back to the column for the user department.
Yes.
If there is no signature by the head of the user department,
yes,
I did not sign. I will not sign.
Yes.
So the fact that maybe we don't have the director at that material point in time, I will take the decisions to sign. Example, under very difficult circumstances, let's say if I did not sign, then we'll have a delay, and then this delay could lead to A, B, and C. So in order to avoid that, I will take such decisions. But in hindsight, I won't have taken those decisions, regardless of the delays that
beautifully said, yeah. Mr. Jonga. Now, this is what you should do. Convince the commissioners that what I did was unlawful, but this is a circumstance that warranted me. That's simple. But if you now want to just not assume responsibility, that would not speak good of your character. And you have beautifully, in a nice way, convinced me. Let me speak about myself, about your personality and character. So we just proceed along those lines, and you are free to explain to the commissioners and try to convince them as to what was the circumstance.
Yes, I agree. I just wanted to
Thank you.
be heard so that I could explain what leads to.
You will.
Why, yes.
I promise you one thing. You will. Even the commissioners will not allow me not to give you the opportunity to be heard. You will absolutely be heard. That's why when you start talking, I keep quiet, because you will be heard.
Thank
but
you.
then you and I will both agree. When I am wrong too, I will agree, because we are not doing this for ourselves. We are serving a higher cause, so it's not personal.
That's correct.
Good. So, are we giving you, or are you admitting liability, your responsibility for this, or you need more time to dig out this, to find out more information?
Yes, I will need more
You
time.
need more time to find out about this information.
Yes.
So you write it down, because we will come back to it.
Yes, sir.
Now we have, any questions? Yes. We have the issue of, on page 23, medical support receipts attached, amount into $11,350. It says we have noted that an amount of $11,350 was given as support to some staff, but no receipt was attached to indicate that the person who requested for support spent the said amount on that medication. Now, you said the ceiling was $1,000. It appears the ceiling is not $1,000, Mr. Jonga. Maybe you have forgotten. You have a voucher, number 22000441, being payment of refreshment. Well, that's this refreshment. We have medical support, CEO, Chairman, and Adam Bojang, $7,500. You have received medical support?
No, absolutely. This is very incorrect. If you could allow me to explain.
Go ahead, sir.
First, you talked about the order description. It was not a medical support, and then we have brought this to the attention of the internal auditor, and then the usual statement is that we will expunge the issues that you have satisfactorily explained, and then those issues includes this support for medical.
Yes.
Now, for the payee, Aissatou Songo, is not for a medical support. It was for the description you could see here is a payment of refreshment. Yes. Now, the medical support for myself, the chairman, and Adam Bojang, it was not a medical support. It was a payment for a COVID-19 test. $2,500 is each.
That's medical.
COVID, no. Let me go ahead.
That's medical.
No, because if you said a medical support is given to the CEO, so
it may suggest you have malaria also.
Yeah, exactly. It might say maybe he had malaria, he was sick, he was admitted, and then that is not the case.
Okay,
it was for COVID-19
test.
Clarifying,
yes.
It was for a COVID-19 test.
Yes.
Prior to our trip to Kenya to attend the Afro-Cities Summit.
Okay.
So this was raised by Ibrahim Sawane, the acting director of admin.
Okay. Okay, fine. It's good you have done that clarification, so we know it is not the medical support in that strict sense.
No.
So it's fair enough. But now the underlying issue is there was no receipt attached.
We've provided attachments, and I still think I have copies of those bank deposit slips that I made.
Please help us with that. Please help us with that, and also, I know it's going to be difficult with the voucher number, with the voucher as well. The number has been listed.
Yes, I will endeavor to.
But the rest, you have dump site, no receipt attached, 1,500 paid, and so on and so forth.
Where exactly?
The other payments, you have the dump site paid to what Ibrahim Sawane, acting director of admin. Why would you pay money to the acting director of admin? You cannot pay money to staff.
I will also, so let me explain. I will also need to verify this, going through the voucher. What happened is that our vehicles that are dumping in Bakote are charged a user fee.
Yes.
So it could be a possibility where Mr. Sawane could raise a claim for these vehicles to pay this dumped fee at Bakote. But again, I will need time to confirm the circumstances surrounding this payment as a dumps. dump site fee.
Yeah, you know, I told you, it appears as if you are enjoying coming here, and it means you'll be here for a while. That is the issue. I don't want that, but that is what it is really turning out to. But we will give you the time. We will ask that the commissioners allow you to, you can write that down.
Now, Mr. Jonga, under what circumstances, because the description indicates dump site fee.
Yes.
Under what circumstances do you consider Mr. Sawane been given the cash direct to pay, if that is the situation, for the council to pay this fee that you're talking about?
No, Mr. Sawane will not make...
No, you have told us that you are supposed to pay a fee if they go to dump at the back of the dump site.
Yes.
Is that not what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know in advance that this is what you need to pay. Why would you give Mr. Sawane the money and not pay the institution that you are supposed to pay? Since it is a prescribed fee that you must pay anytime your vehicles go to dump waste.
Yes, often the fact that you have Mr. Sawane's name do not imply that he pays this directly. And the other point is that he will raise the claim before we give this money out. Usually the chief driver...
No, what I am talking about is, why give him cash?
No,
it is an institution that you are paying, or are you paying somebody cash at the dump site?
They're paying cash at the gate.
At the gate?
At the gate, yes. So when they
Who
pay...
is managing the dump site? Where is that money supposed to go to?
The staffs at KMC manage the dump site.
So it is the institution that you are paying?
Yes, so when we pay...
This fee?
Yeah, when we pay the fee, they give us the receipt. Now, Mr. Sawane will raise a claim for the payment. I am of the view that this was for that payment. Now, when he raised the claim, before the money is provided to him...
But Mr. Sawane is acting...
yes, he does. The chief driver will come on behalf of the drivers that are going. So, and then he will say, okay, today we are collecting around Sukuta, we are collecting around Santa Basule.
Well, I am finding it difficult to appreciate what you're explaining, Mr.
Maybe if I finish...
With all honesty. No, because I don't want to appreciate what you're telling me. No. Because if this fee is supposed to be paid to KMC, I see no reason why, you understand, the drivers will go to the director of admin to raise, to request for this, and Mr. Sawane will be paid the cash. If you had told me it is a driver that is paid the cash, at least I may seem to understand. But even that is not in compliance with any of the rules for you to expend this money.
Let me explain. Mr. Sawane raised the claim on behalf of the drivers.
But whether he raises the claim or not, do you think this paying Mr. Sawane the cash is correct? Let me just ask that question. Do you think it is correct? If it is correct, you tell us.
It is at that point in time, yes.
It is at the point in time?
Yes, because he's the head of administration. So
okay, we will take your evidence.
Yes.
Council, you may proceed.
You know, Mr. Jonga.
Yes, sir.
Just to help you on that, payments should be done to the recipients. Is that not the case? Payments should be done to the recipients.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah, but...
that's what the law says.
Yeah, but here you have a kind of let's say 3 drivers going to Sukuta, going to Welengara in a day, and then Sukuta, Welengara, and Sanjaba is closer to Bakote. And now before they go, we will not know how many trips each of them will make to go to Bakote. Instead of coming all the way to Sukuta and going back to Tamana, it's not a smart idea in terms of your fuel consumptions. So if 3 of the drivers said, okay, today we will be going around that end, and then Mr. Sawane will be asked to put up a claim and raise this and give the money to the chief driver for onward transmission to the drivers. When they bring the receipts are attached on the voucher.
Yeah, but the point is you still must have all these receipts and everything. But now let me go to another issue. We have discussed the issue on page 21 regarding authorities' signatures not complete on the vouchers. You've said you will need time as well. We've
Yes,
discussed
yes,
the issue regarding medical support, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, just a minute. Oh, this in 2020. Now, I believe that's all for 2022. We will want to proceed with the national audit.
Yes.
Do you have the national audit for the financial, for the year ended 31st December 2020
Yes.
and 2021? Do you have that?
Yes, sir.
Now, on page 8, you will see the issue raised by the auditor. Now, this is the Brikama Area Council National Audit Report, Financial Statement and Audit Report for the year ended 31st December 2021, for 2020 and 2021. So it's a joint audit report. Now, you will see that there were issues that were highlighted. First is the unpresented collector's cash book on GTRs. You see that?
A few minutes, but it's, what page do you have there? Is it, please? Is it the
page 8?
the audit for 2020 and 2021?
Yes. There are some key.
Page 8.
Yeah, there were key issues that were highlighted by the auditor, and we will probably go deep into it. But one of the things is there was an unpresented collector's cash books and GTR.
A few minutes, please.
Okay, all right.
What is the heading of the issue?
The report. Let me give you one. Let me give you. Do you appreciate hard copies?
Yeah, I have the soft copy here, but if you...
So we'll show you the exhibit of the register will show you so that you can. It's Brikama Area Council Financial Statements and Reports for the year ended 31st December 2020. Financial Statement and Reports for the year ended 31st December 2021. By the way, when will you provide the approved budget for 2020 and 2021 and 2?
We have submitted all the approved budgets here. I will liaise with the registrar.
Okay.
He asked for the copies of the approval cover letters from the ministry. I remember we had only 2 cover letters for approval. So, but I'll also authenticate those copies that are already submitted. Okay, I was looking at the table of content, but this is around the audit opinion base. Okay, I am there now.
Yes. Now, so the issues regarding, we'll wait until we have the budget, and we will discuss the issues in your financial statement as stated in the report. But turn to page 54, you will see an issue regarding understatement of deposits. Are you there?
Sorry, for a minute, seconds, please. Yes.
It says 208.
Yes.
No, before that, the executive summary on page 53. It says over and understatement of ledger balance. It says we noted under an overstatement of ledger balance $813,160.90 and $9,312,722.72 in respect of revenue and expenditure. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
What is your explanation to that?
If you go to our responses, just bear with me, we go to our responses.
Yes, on page 55. What is your response?
The response is that there are variances of the revenue target versus the actuals.
Yes, and the
And it was not an issue of overstatement or understatement of ledger balance.
yes, true. And the auditor agreed with you as well.
Yes.
That's correct. He says that we held discussion with the Director of Finance and we agreed that these were over and understatement of ledger balances, unnecessary adjustments made to revise financial statements. So that's correct. So that's what we do, Mr. Jonga. We just agree on the basis. 2.2, incorrect treatment of opening balance. You have 2.3, general ledger without or incomplete account names. Do you see that?
What page is that, please?
53. You have 2.6, non-submission of financial records. You see that?
Yes.
So you did not submit there was an unpresented collector's cash book.
We provided our responses. So if you could go to the page where we have our responses.
Where's your response?
Can you please read out the page?
No, you read it out. Where? Refer me to the page and please read it out.
Yes.
Which page is that, sir?
Just 2 minutes. Are you talking about the incorrect treatment of the ledger balances, or are you
No,
talking?
non-submission of financial records. So, for example, the books of accounts, 2.6, page 53. It says you did not present at the time of the audit the collector's cash books as highlighted in paragraph 3.2.2. You did not present cash books, bank reconciliation statements, and financial statements. You did not present payment vouchers as highlighted in paragraph 3.2.4.
Non-submission of financial records?
Yes. You did not present bank deposit slips as referred to on page 3.2.5.
No, can I please ask for that copy? I remember very well that we have.
We are on the wrong page?
Yeah, we are not in the
Right.
in the same page.
Same page.
Yes.
53.
I think going by the table of content will be more helpful.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you there?
Just few minutes, please. Are you talking about unpresented collector's cash book?
Come again, sir?
Are you referring to unpresented collector's cash book?
Yeah, on page 53. Are you on page 53?
No, what you are reading is the executive summary of the findings.
Yes.
So I am at I'm going through the table of contents. Maybe.
Which page are you on?
I'm at 61 on is it unpresented collector's cash book?
Yeah, so you're on 61. Okay, then 53 will refer you to 60 onwards. That's why I started with 53 to tell you the main issues. The main issues would be unpresented collector's cash book, unpresented cash book, bank reconciliation statements and financial statements, unpresented payment vouchers, unpresented deposit slips, unpresented canteen register,
Yes.
unpresented personal files, and contract documents.
Yes.
Now
so-
you turn to page 60.
Yes. Now, if you start from page 55 on the detailed findings, because what you were reading before is the summary.
I know.
So if we move to the detailed findings, then we'll be able to see the
No,
management
do you
response.
do you have page 53?
50?
3.
Yes.
Do you have page 53?
Yes.
Do you see executive summary?
Yes, sir.
Do you see 2.6?
2.6, yes.
Do you see non-submission of financial records?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now I will guide you to how I want you to follow the evidence. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, yes.
Good. So the 2.6 tells you the main issues.
Yes.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
So I will repeat. It tells you about unpresented collector's cash book,
Yes.
as referred to paragraph 3.2.2.
Yes, sir.
Unpresented cash book, bank reconciliation statements and financial statements.
Yes, sir.
Issues regarding unpresented payment vouchers, unpresented deposit slips, unpresented canteen register,
Yes, sir.
unpresented personal files, and contract documents as well. Now, move to page 60. You will see the issues. That is where it has referred us to. So you will see page 60 regarding non-submission of financial records.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good. Go to page 61.
Yes, sir.
Unpresented collector's cash book.
Yes.
Says some revenue collector's cash books and general triplicate receipts books were not presented for audit inspection, and the details are below with a table.
Yes.
For instance, from the period 1st March 2020 to 24th of March 2020, you have collectors named Pasanjali Bojang. Both the cash book and the GRTRs were not presented, and the list goes on. You have the implication, you have the response, you have highlighted the ones that were available. For instance, Pasanjali Bojang is available for your review, and so on and so forth. Now the management, the follow response, it says the following GTR books and their corresponding cash books remain unpresented for our review. You have Sanu Jajo, Keba Jame, Pasanjali Bojang, Famara Sanyang, Modou B. Jalo, and Karamo Sajo. For Sana Jajo, GTR books 483101 to 483200. How many visits would that be?
It should be
Around 100?
around 100, yes, that's 100.
You have 486101 to 486200,
Yes.
503801 to 503900.
Yes.
And then for Keba Jame, 485301 to 485400, 49001 to 49001 0100, 493701 to 493800. The list goes on with Pasanjari Bojang, Pamela Sanyang, Modou B. Jalo, and Karamo Sajo. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
So what is your explanation?
After we received the final copies from the National Audit Office, I wrote to the principal internal auditor to instruct him to investigate the GTR books dated on the 14th of October.
Yes.
And then he produced a report to that effect concerning the failures of these collectors to submit their GTR books.
Yes.
That is Karamo, Sajo, Sana, Jaju, Pasanjali, Bojang, Kewa Jame, and Famara Sanya.
Yes.
Yes, I have a copy of the instruction to him to investigate and the report that he has produced afterwards. I will make the copy available to
Now was the issue
commission.
solved?
Because the report came up with recommendations to address the issues of the missing GTRs, but it also includes the interviews that the principal internal auditor had with the collectors, and then he made those recommendations.
Beautiful, but now was it addressed? Were these issues addressed? This is about more than 1,000 GTRs.
I think
Is the answer no?
yes, decisions were taken to address, because example,
Were they addressed?
there were orders. He made a recommendation for orders to pay.
You have taken steps to address them.
Yes,
Were they addressed?
I will have to confirm this, but I know decisions were taken.
No, if you say you have to confirm,
They were written to.
were they addressed?
I will have to confirm this.
Okay, then you write it down. Then when you come back, you will give us a report on that. Page 63. It says again, there were unpresented financial records. On page 64, the listed financial records for the year 2021 were not presented for audit inspection, main cash books. We have this issue, Mr. Jonga, of not being able to have access to the cash book, the cashier's cash book, the main cash book. No one can see it. Do you know why?
Well, I heard about the same information from the commission.
Yes.
But it is completely unacceptable that the main cash book will simply not be available.
Yes. So what do we do about that?
Well, in this report with regards
Sorry,
to
Mr. Jonga, let me just step in here. We could recall that some of the witnesses, we have asked a principal cashier to produce it, and he said he gave an explanation. But some collectors have come in to say, you understand, this cash book should be in the office. So we are requesting that you request for the cash book and it be produced to the commission.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Now, yes, Mr. You were explaining something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, the issue of these main cash books that are mentioned here.
Right.
Specifically the cash books of the Director of Finance.
Right.
And that is why you could see under our management response, there is no other office auditors.
It's resolved.
Yes, so these documents were provided to the auditors, and that's why if you turn to page 65, there is no auditors for the comment.
No. Where you have resolved issues, you will provide a response to that, and the auditor will, in most cases, respond to your findings. Don't say it's resolved. Don't say that.
No, I would say that because our response clearly indicates that situation regularized. And then you do not see any auditors for the comment.
Where is the, no, you know what the auditor said? Where there are no further comments, it means your response is inadequate.
No,
That's the word, I'm just telling you, the expert evidence we received from the auditor. The auditor said here, sat where you are sitting, we asked the question, I asked the question, we all asked the question, what about where you have a response, preliminary response, and there is no further auditor's comment? He said, it is because the evidence or the response doesn't hold water, it's not adequate, there's no need to even respond to that.
Well, I have a different conclusion.
You're not an auditor.
No, but
You're not an auditor. I will not take your evidence because I would not know. It's an expert evidence. He said that is the reason why they would not respond.
No, but like if an audit query is outstanding,
Yes.
following a management response,
Yes.
the auditor will still go further and said this query is unresolved.
Yes.
If it is resolved, naturally you don't see auditors further comment.
No, that's not correct. We have already dealt with one on page 660. The response regarding, and we agreed. You referred me to the auditor's response, and I agreed.
Yes, because
Several times, just wait a minute. Several times you had told me, look at the auditor's response. We responded, and this was the response, and I said that's true.
yeah.
The page 60 says, with respect to the non-submission of financial records. You get the point? Before that, where the auditor said, both of you sat, and they agreed with what you were saying. Do you see that? Let me just draw your attention back to that part where there was auditor's response. On page 55, regarding evaluating the financial reporting framework, you have the issue of over and understatement of ledger balance. When the findings were that we noted under and overstatements of ledger balances of $813,160.90 buttons and $9,312,722.72 in respect of revenue and expenditure respectively for the year 2020. Your response was, these are variances of the revenue targets versus the actuals and not over and understatements of ledger balance. Right?
Yes.
And the auditor further comments were, we held discussion with the Director of Finance and we agreed that these were over and understatement of ledger balance and necessarily adjustments made to the financial revised financial statements.
Yeah.
In fact, they even disagreed with your response based on my understanding, but then there was a further comment to that effect. You get the point?
Yeah, the further comment is that we agree.
Now, both of you agreed that what they said earlier was true, not what you are saying. Your response was in relation to these are variances of the revenue targets versus the actuals and not over and understatement. The further comment is we agreed, we held discussions with the Director of Finance and we agreed that these were over and understatements.
Yes.
Not the variance.
Unnecessary adjustment made to the revised financial statement.
But the point here is the auditor's further comment will tell you whether they agreed with you or not.
With this comment, you could conclude that the issue is resolved.
You take it that way, that's fine. But now here, when you have this issue of the main cash book, your response is the stated financial records are all available for your inspection. That's what you have said.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
Now, let's forget about the auditor's further comment. Now, where are these the main cash book, the bank reconciliation statements, and the financial statements?
I'll check with the officer responsible for remedial action because clearly we have indicated they are available for the inspections. If they were not provided, the auditor's further comment would have indicated that these documents were not provided.
No, I'm just telling you what the auditor said in evidence here.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that is right.
Yeah.
That's why you have the opportunity.
Yes.
I'm saying what the auditor said here is where there are no further comments. Yeah. I can vividly remember, and I stand to be corrected as well. Yeah. Is because what you give as an answer is not adequate. Yep. But again, you can provide us with an answer. Yeah. Do you have the main cash books?
We have indicated that the records, the financial records are available.
No,
so
Mr.
yes,
Jonga.
yes.
You have the main cash books. So we are asking you to produce these documents because you have vehemently said you have this and this is why you have it in your management response.
Yes.
So please, let's not drag this point.
No,
Just a minute. We are not dragging this point. I am ordering you to produce this by Monday. Because these are available based on your evidence.
I got that instruction.
Council, we may proceed.
Yeah.
So the documents in question are the main cash book, bank reconciliation, and financial statements. Please write this down.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes, sir.
We have an example of you probably been in agreement with the auditor. You have on page 65 unpresented payment vouchers, where they have a figure of 3 million plus, and the further comment on page 67 states that the payment vouchers were presented and reviewed, and we agreed with the management on the errors noted. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
There was an unpresented deposit slips for Pasanjari Bojang and Famara Sanyang for 2020 and 2021. Do you see that? On page 67.
Yes,
The rest were presented. They were highlighted, then subsequently presented. For Pasanjari Bojang and Famara Sanyang, it has not been presented. And for Pasanjari Bojang, it's a total of 52 deposit slips for Pasanjari Bojang. That's what you have said. Famara Sanyang, 21. But the auditors for the comment is that these deposit slips for Karamo Sanyang and Modou Nyasi were not presented for audit inspection. So these two, Karamo and Modou Nyasi, were not presented.
Yeah.
Can you make those available?
With regards to Molamin Nyasi, there is no, first let me start with Karamo Sanyang. We've communicated to the auditors that we do not have a staff by the name Karamo Sanyang. What we have is Karamo Sajo.
Okay, Karamo Sajo, okay.
Yeah, yes. So with regards to Molamin Nyasi, his deposit slips were presented after when this report was finalized. So and we have communicated to the auditors, and they said we can keep them until their next review. So yes, the copies should be with Molamin Nyasi.
So we need that.
Yes.
We need you to be as the custodian of these documents.
Because during the course of the audit, Molamin Sanyang was out of the country at that time.
Yeah. So please, we need these two outstanding, Karamo Sajo and Molamin Nyasi. The canteen register.
No, sorry. Karamo Sanyang is not a staff.
Karamo Sajo. You have corrected.
Karamo Sajo presented 12 GDRs, while 11 were outstanding.
Yes.
So, but however, the bank statement in our possession contains all the outstanding deposits in relation to Karamo Sajo.
So we need the outstanding.
So a copy of the bank statement in question, I will find that out.
Can we have the outstanding deposit slips
for Karamo?
The two individuals. For Karamo, it's for 2020 and 2021. Molam Nyasi as well. Yep. 2 years of collection. So we need their deposit slips.
Karamo, like I said, has 11 outstanding deposit slips.
Let's have it.
No, I am saying these were not available, but what we said is that the bank statements contain.
Now let's have all the bank statements from 2020 to 2021 for these two individuals, and we can determine how many are outstanding.
Yeah, for Molamin, you have the deposit slips at hand.
Yes,
it is for Karamo.
Let's have these two.
Okay,
is it possible?
Sir. Yes, sir.
You have the issue of unpresented deposit slips. Says the area council did not present some deposit slips in respect of collections of $446,863 for rates and taxes for audit inspection.
Which page is that, please?
Is it 78?
Yes.
Yes.
We have written to the collectors that are concerned with regards to this particular findings.
And then
I will.
You have Suleiman Tamba.
Yes, Suleiman, Yaya Drame, and Fatou Dabo.
Yaya Drame, and you have Fatou Dabo. This is in 2020 when you have already issued directive or instructions that all monies must be paid to the bank,
yes,
with
sir.
no exception.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So why would you have this issue?
Well, it was brought to my attention through these audit reports, and we have communicated to the collectors concerned. So I will again look for
Because without deposit slips, the implication is you cannot ascertain where these monies are. And then we have received, again, I have showed you evidence of collectors complaining or saying that they either use the money for their private whatsoever, or giving the monies to one or two individuals in the senior management. And you have seen example of that. And you have had that in the commission, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and now we have this issue of $446,863 is outstanding. How do we solve this problem?
Like I mentioned, we have written to these collectors to,
Yes.
to confront them with these findings. So I will have to confirm with the Director of Finance whether.
Was this money recovered?
Yes, I will find out.
You don't know?
At this point in time, I might not be able to.
You forgot?
Yes, precisely. I cannot recall.
You can't recall. We'll give you time.
Not at this point, yes.
Write it down. Give you time. Please write that down.
Yes.
But your response says, in 2020, all rates collectors were submitting to the principal cashier as evidenced by the GTR. But your evidence, oral evidence said something different. Your oral evidence says, in 2020, there was an instruction that all money is supposed to be paid to the bank. So the management response is totally in contradiction with your management response as per the audit. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm referring to?
I've seen it, yeah, because the query remains resolved. So
No, not the query. Do you say the query remains unresolved?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's not solved. The deposit slips are not provided.
And we don't know where the money is in the account or not.
Yes.
So that is your answer now. So
no, my answer is we have written to the collectors concerned, and I will confirm whether deposit slips were presented.
you are telling us two issues. You said the query remained unsolved because you did not submit the deposit slips.
No, they are not two issues. These are the same issues. The query that the auditor raised remained unresolved.
Okay.
Yes.
But
we have written to the collectors concerned.
Okay.
And to confront them with this query.
Okay.
And then I will get copies of those letters sent to this.
Not the letters. Not the letters.
I will get the letters to show that we have written to them, and then further find out where actually deposit slips were provided.
Okay, we will wait for that. We'll wait for what was done. I'm referring to your management response. It says in 2020, all rates collectors were submitting to the principal cashier as evidenced by the GTR numbers quoted. It was only in 2021 when they started using the POS machines that they started depositing at the bank. Is that correct?
No, it is not correct.
The management response is not correct.
If you deposit into the principal cashier, of course, you need to provide deposit slips.
And the idea that in 2021 was when we was in the POS machine was also wrong. Because it was in 2020 and not 2021.
No, it is not.
And also, you told the commission in 2020 you have already given the instruction that money should be paid to the bank.
Yes.
So under what circumstances were money received by the principal cashier to this level?
We'll confirm this.
I don't understand what you mean by you will confirm. There's evidence that monies are being received by the cashier in 2020. People were paying to the cashier as opposed to your instruction that they should pay to the bank.
Yes. So I said, in order to establish that, I will need to confirm whether actually monies were paid to.
Mr. Kante said yes.
Yes.
Mr. Canton Kante agreed. He said yes, monies were paid to him.
That's okay.
That's not okay.
No,
because that's contrary to your
instruction.
Instruction.
Yes. So I'll find out, like I said, to confirm whether actually he has the deposit slips for the payments that were made to him. Because the instruction was that collectors need to deposit the money to the bank.
How many? That's fine. We will write that down when you come back.
No, let me ask him a question on that before you proceed. Mr. Jonga.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a management response, right?
Yes.
It's a management response.
Yes.
And you were privy to this. I think you did not read the response properly for you to tell us that you are going to cross-check, because it says in 2020 all rates collectors were submitting to the principal cashier as evidenced by the GTR numbers quoted. The underlining word, evidenced by the GTR numbers quoted. So what are you going to cross-check? When your management has said, based on the GTRs that Principal Cashier Canton Kante has given, which is the evidence that they were paying over the counter. So what are you going to cross-check?
The copies of the copies of the GTR receipts are not attached, are not available here. So
Where?
They are not attached here.
Attached where?
On the report
No,
that I'm having.
That is not what I'm saying, Mr. You know very well that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that your response as management, you have said the evidence is that the GTR receipts, you understand, quoted, that is the numbers quoted as evidence of monies received by Mr. Canton, is what you stated here.
Yes.
So what other further evidence do you need? Because it cannot be beyond this. You know and I know it cannot be beyond this.
No, of course, Ma. I think it could be beyond this because the GDR's receipts,
Yes.
numbers that are quoted,
Yes.
is not an indication that actually a deposit has happened into the accounts of council.
Fantastic. Okay.
So that is that's my position.
So the principal cashier can give a GTR, and there is 100% possibility that that GTR is false. Is that the connotation? Because that is the implication of what I can understand from your statement.
No. Yesterday I think.
No, we will give you time to go and bring us further evidence. But what we can understand from this simple language that you have used to explain to the auditors your response for the query is that the GTRs that Mr. Canton Kante has issued, evidencing receipt of money from collectors. You understand?
Yes.
Because he cannot issue a receipt without them giving him money.
Yes.
He can only give them GTR receipts. And they have said that here, for all of them, they have said that they were paying, at one point in time, they were paying monies to the principal cashier. To be very certain, in 2021, and even that, in this statement, there is contradiction, because you said in 2020, you gave instructions that everybody should pay. And in this same response, you are saying all rates collectors were submitting to the principal cashiers. So which of the evidences do you want us to take as the authentic evidence in this regard?
Yes, and having said that instruction was given in 2020 for the payments through the banks, and that's why I said I will need time to confirm.
Okay,
to confirm
granted.
this. Yes.
Granted, we will give you time.
Thank you.
Yes, it's 1 o'clock. It's a convenient point to stop. Not well.